Thanks, Wendy, and thanks to everyone for joining us today, taking some time out of your day to talk about a subject that I have pretty good passion about because it's an area that can really be fraught with uncertainty. If you think about the process of buying a car, say back in the late 90s, dealers had all the information. So going in as a consumer is very difficult for you to get the information that you needed to know whether or not you were getting a good deal. So the dealers and the salesperson held that information tight. So if they told you that they're going to cut you a bargain on this one, you couldn't really tell whether or not they were giving you a line or actually giving you a good deal. Now, however, you think about the information that's at your fingertips with internet and car pricing websites like KBB, Edmunds.com, things like that, it's a much more level playing field. Car buyers have access to independent comparative cost information before your assessment and negotiation activities even begin. So you can go in and look what features cost and what discounts the salespeople are getting, the dealers are getting from the automakers. Consumers are much more informed and have more bargaining power, and really that's what we want to try to convey to the world of software development. When we're out there buying a new software system, how, and you're getting bids in from vendors, have we been offered a reasonable price, or are we looking at something that is overpriced, underpriced to get into the market? Are we getting the functionality we asked for and need? Is the proposed schedule realistic? Has this project been deliberately underbid? So there's all these questions that surround buying software systems that are very difficult to answer without a good quantitative approach and a structured methodology around it. So today we want to talk about those things, and we're going to start with two key estimation maxims and some definitions so we're all on the same page. The methodology, basically your roadmap through the fog. Pitfalls in the fog, important considerations, and then keeping our skies clear with some ongoing estimation, because it's not a one-shot deal. Once the project has been awarded, once the contract has been awarded, the question is, how do we keep it on track? So it should be an ongoing process for you to keep on top of that. And then we're going to look at a specific example. So a couple of maxims are critical to effective estimation within a software development project. And any approach to estimation really should enable and facilitate communication when changes to the project can possibly impact the cost of schedule and delivery. Basically, you need to be able to explain the consequences to the cost and schedule of changing requirements, or if there are different conditions that are changing within the development environment. Communication and expectation management and customer buy-in are absolutely critical to project success. Without those things, that's where things tend to get derailed big time. The other one is that size matters, and software is something that is difficult to measure in size sometimes. There's so many different ways out there, but how you measure size and how you consistently do that really does matter. And when it comes down to it, software should be estimated based on some sort of sizing. Estimating in level of effort or hours really doesn't enable effective communication. If I come to you and say, I think this should take 1,000 hours, and you think it should take 900 hours, it's very difficult to reconcile that and have an informed business discussion and decision based on that type of thing. Some key terms and definitions just so we're all on the same page. When we talk about software acquisition, it's purchasing software or software development services through a contract, and this usually includes competitive bids. It can be any kind of system. So when we talk about a COTS system, commercial off-the-shelf, we think about something that is purchased and used as is with no customization, or used as is with some additional customization for new requirements that it doesn't meet. RFP, a request for proposal, is a formal solicitation for software development services. An independent estimate is something that is an objective evaluation of potential development project effort, schedule, and cost. So those are the terms we're going to be using today. We want to make sure that we're all on that same page. So here's the methodology we're talking about. Generating effort and schedule estimates without intimate knowledge of a development organization's historical performance can be really challenging. If you've been embedded in an organization for a long time and you've got good historical data for how your development teams perform, that's a great way to do estimation. However, so many times we're coming at it without that type of data, without that type of information. So what we're trying to do here is to provide an approach that can help buyers of software objectively evaluate the software development proposals, be able to select the best value for their needs, and effectively manage acquisition costs from kickoff through the end of product delivery. And the foundation of this methodology really is the ability to objectively size software that is being developed or delivered, and to understand the potential ranges of cost and schedule that could result. So our methodology combines standardized software measurement techniques with very structured, well-documented estimation tools like we have at Galorath to enable true independent estimation. The goal is not here to produce the single right answer in terms of cost and schedule, but rather to understand what a reasonable range of answers might be and how vendor responses to an RFP fit within that range. Most of the times vendors are submitting point estimates, so you really want to understand where do they fit along the spectrum of possible outcomes that could be realized as a result of what it is we're asking them to do. And additionally, the methodology can help a program understand the relative cost and schedule risk that it accepts by selecting one proposal over another. The real goal here is to be as objective and transparent as possible. And we'll get into how we do that right now. So step one, defining functional requirements. And sometimes this is kind of treated as optional. We get into software acquisition efforts before functional requirements have fully been defined, and that's just the nature of how software has been delivered over the past few decades. So if requirements have been worked on ahead of time, you'll definitely get better bids from your vendors because there's be that much less uncertainty in what they need to deliver, what they will be building. Many times we see systems projects, like I said, start before fully understanding what the software needs to do. And this is one of the reasons that Agile has grown in popularity. Sort of, you have the absence of upfront requirements. If you have the absence of those upfront requirements, that is intentional. But it doesn't preclude this methodology from being used. If you have an Agile project, you just have to adapt it a bit. So where the rubber starts really hitting the road is conducting a function point analysis. So being able to objectively size your software based on requirements is why we would go use this particular approach for software sizing. As someone who is not a developer per se, but more of a business analyst, I really appreciate the ability to have an international standard like function point analysis at my disposal to objectively size these systems. Function point analysis measures that software size based on functional requirements requested by and provided to the user. These results can be included as part of an RFP along with the requirements document, so your vendors would be working from the same set of assumptions, assuming they know what function points are. The consistency and the repeatability and the documentability of these are all very important here. So if you think about building a house, being able to communicate with your potential building contractors of the size that you are asking for. You're asking for a 4,000 square foot house. That's a standard.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.